Welcome back. Last time we talked about the importance of self-care, and I had some great responses which we're going to use in our next video. So thank you very much for that. Today I wanted to just emphasize a little bit about the difference between self-care and self-comfort or self-soothing. Both are important skills to have. In fact, we often talk about teaching young children the ability to self-comfort or self-soothe in order to deal with an emotional upset or something that's stressful and difficult. And it's still a skill that we need as adults too, right? I mean, we're gonna face things that are a bit stressful and our emotions get big, and we need to be able to deal with that in the moment. One of the ways to think about the difference between self-care and self-comfort is to think about, is it a long-term, proactive skill, or is it something that's more reactive in the moment? And both of those are important, right? But what you want to do eventually is create a balance where it's weighted a little bit more in habits and skills that are self-care long-term. Think about when you're taking care of your child. You're making sure that they're getting enough sleep. You're making sure that they're eating healthy, that their brain is growing so they're learning new things, that you're helping them connect to the wider world in that spiritual sense, that they're having time and they're learning social skills, so they're having time with other children their age, that sort of thing, right? These are all important self-care skills that adults need in their lives too. And sometimes when we're busy, we aren't prioritizing those, or we are out of balance. And so I want to just think about self-comfort or self-soothing. If you think about comfort food, that delicious stacked mac and cheese with the bacon on top, and you're like, oh, this is so delicious, and I need this right now. This moment is calling for this macaroni and cheese or this chocolate bar or that pint of ice cream, right? Oh man, like those are comfort food kind of things. But you wouldn't want to continuous diet of that probably. It wouldn't be good in the long term, right? So yes, in that moment, that chocolate bar is awesome for me at that moment, but it's not going to be a long term, right? That's the difference between a moment of self-comfort or self-soothing and a healthy veggie plate that's going to help fuel my body and take care of me in a more long-term sustainable manner, right? So if you think about, oh, I have got a really good habit of eating healthy foods, okay? And I'm really making sure that I'm eating a balanced meal, all right? That is some self-care weighted over here, right? Sometimes we need that mac and cheese. That's okay too. We're just making sure that this balance over here is a little bit heavier. What sometimes happens though is we get so into that immediate reactive self-comfort and the balance gets out of whack. So maybe we think, oh, I need a beer tonight, or I need to eat that pint of ice cream, but then I'm gonna get another one tomorrow, or I'm gonna finish off this bag of chips and then start on the next one. Those things that maybe are momentarily appropriate self-comfort, but when the balance gets out of whack, that's when the problem happens, right? That's when we're not really taking care of ourselves in the long term. So we want to just make sure that we have the 5 components of self-care, the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual components, and that their balance is just a little bit more weighted in that area. I have my picture back. I want to remind you of this from last time, right? When we talked about not being able to pour from an empty pitcher, and we talked about the importance of self-care. Next video, we're going to talk about the different components of self-care. There's the physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and mental. So all these different 5 areas that we want to make sure we're filling our pitcher with. All right? See you soon. Bye.